Hello everyone, good evening. All right, I'm getting all set up here. I'm just a minute or so early, so I'm gonna wait for some people to hop on live just a second and get my computer pulled up so that I can see any comments that are coming in. Okay, awesome. Hey, Jamie. Okay, awesome. We're good to go. Well, welcome guys. This is the second class in my October learning series. So I wanted to provide some information to you guys on cold and flu remedies because, I mean, it's about to be cold and flu season, right? And inevitably, you're going to be exposed to things. Hopefully, we can fight those off and have a strong enough immune system, but everybody gets sick. I mean, we get sick, my family gets sick sometimes, but what I want to do and what I hope to leave you with are things that you can do for prevention to boost your immune system, but then also for when you do get sick or feel like you're coming down with something, steps that you can take and things that you can incorporate that will knock it out really quick because nobody has time to be sick, right? All right, say hello if you're jumping on live so that I know you're here. So the first thing with prevention is hand washing, right? I mean, it sounds silly, but really true. We have to wash our hands really well all the time, right? Now, what if you're out and about and you don't have anything to wash your hands with? Maybe you have some of that icky hand sanitizer that has chemicals, hey Kia, and toxins in it. I want to show you what this is like. One of my favorite things that doTERRA makes is the On Guard hand sanitizer. It comes convenient just like this, so easy to keep in your purse, in the car, a book bag, a lunch box, a gym bag. It just makes it super simple and easy. Now you might say like, why do I need this? Why not just use, the Purell stuff or whatever brand you buy? Well, most not only hand sanitizers, but also soaps that you wash with have an ingredient called triclosan in them. And the triclosan is antibacterial, but it's a chemical that has been linked to cancer. So anywhere we can take an upgrade and avoid those kind of things, then we'll be healthier overall. And the blend of oils in this On Guard is very protective and not only helps to fight bacteria and viruses, but it also boosts the immune system. So you're kind of getting an added benefit there. So that's number one, using On Guard soap and hand sanitizers, because that, again, helps to boost the immune system and gets rid of the germs. And then, love the way it smells too. It smells like cinnamon, cloves, wild orange. It just smells really nice. Now, speaking of On Guard, two ways that I love to incorporate two of the oils to boost the immune system are one by using that blend On Guard. It comes like this, just in a 15 milliliter bottle. Lasts a really long time. You really only need 1 to 3 drops per application. So I just like to put this on the bottom of my feet, or you could even do it along the spine of your kids, just diluted with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil. You could do that every single day to help get that daily immune boosting going. The other oil that is my favorite for immune boosting is frankincense. Frankincense has very high anti-inflammatory properties. And so anytime we have inflammation in the body, we're more likely to get sick, to have diseases occur. And inflammation is kind of at the root of any disease process. So knocking out that inflammation and getting that, again, that immune boosting. So I typically do both the On Guard and the frankincense. You could rotate those. You could one day do On Guard on the feet, along the spine, and then the next day do frankincense. So that would kind of be your choice. So those are my two biggest oils for boosting the immune system. Then I want to share with you why it is so important to take healthy fats. So this is my favorite omega supplement. This is made by doTERRA. It's a mixture of plant and marine-based omegas. So think of it kind of like when you buy over-the-counter fish oil, flaxseed oil. So think of it kind of like a combo of those. But the reason healthy fats are so important is they help to boost our immune system. They actually, healthy fats actually increase white blood cell activity. And you know, your white blood cells are the part of your immune system that are really involved in protecting the body against, you know, disease and just foreign invaders coming into the body. So they help with the white blood cell activity. And then also omegas are really important for gut health. And if you don't have good gut health, then you're not going to have a healthy immune system. So super important. Now, omegas are important for many other things, but again, tonight I wanted to just focus on kind of cold and flu prevention and remedies to have on hand. So omegas are key. Let's see. Speaking of gut health, probiotics. Okay, everybody, no matter what, should be on a probiotic. So I want to share with you, doTERRA makes 2 probiotics, one for adults and one for kids. So let's start with the one for kids. It comes in this little, you can kind of hear it. It's just kind of like little granules. It reminds me of those little pixie sticks, you know, that kids like. It tastes like sugar. That's really what it tastes like to me. They actually taste good. I take them sometimes. They taste pretty good. But one of these a day, and it's kind of almost like a little treat for your kids. So you could totally do that for your kids. Now, my kids are a little bit older. So once they're about 7, 8, they can swallow pills. You could transition to the PB Assist. And this is what we all take now, because my kids are 12, and so we just all take 1 PB Assist a day. Now, one thing that's super important, most people know about probiotics, but I want to say there's kind of a misconception out there that if we go and eat some of the yogurts that are out there that say they have a lot of probiotics in them, they really aren't good quality, most of those. Like the Activia and all that, that's really not good quality. You're not getting any good probiotics from that, so just don't be fooled. And the probiotics that you buy over the counter, many of those, what happens is when we ingest them and they get into the acid of the stomach, that destroys all, when the capsule breaks open, it destroys all of the good bacteria. So what you want is a probiotic that has a really good delivery system. And what kind of just sets this probiotic, doTERRA's probiotic, apart is it is double encapsulated. And so what that means is it does not break apart in the stomach, so it's not destroyed by the acid of the stomach. It basically, when you swallow the pill, you basically, it goes into the stomach and then it goes into the small intestine. There it's broken open, and then you get, full benefit of all those probiotics. They're not destroyed by the acid of the stomach. The second thing that you really need to know when you're buying probiotics is that they have prebiotic fiber in them, because the probiotics feed on the prebiotic fiber. That's how they multiply and grow. So this particular probiotic, doTERRA's probiotic, does have prebiotic fiber in it. So that is extremely important. So taking those probiotics, again, we want to boost the amount of good bacteria so we can fight the bad bacteria in our body. Now, a couple other ways that you can do that also are to eat fermented foods like sauerkraut, fermented vegetables, kimchi, things like kombucha, have some good probiotics in them. So those are other ways that you can kind of get some more in your food if you choose to do that, which I love fermented vegetables. I eat those all the time. So, but yogurts don't tend to have near the amount of probiotics that we're led to believe that they do. So I just want to let you guys know that. Okay, vitamin D. Vitamin D is really important. In fact, there are some studies showing that vitamin D, like taking vitamin D, extra vitamin D in the winter months, because we're not getting the sun exposure like we normally do in the summer months, is a way to prevent flu. Now, if you think about it, it's really interesting and it makes total sense, because think about when is cold and flu season. It's typically in the winter months. I mean, that's flu season is, and you get more colds in the winter months, right? So if sun exposure, being out, getting enough vitamin D is a way to kind of prevent that, when is it that we don't get the sun exposure? It's in the winter. So it makes sense that we have more flu and cold, during that time. So what I like to do, what my family does, is we take extra vitamin D during the winter. Now, you can totally have your levels tested, see your provider, talk to them about it, get your levels tested, to see where you're at. But for the most part, you're probably not going to take too much if you take a supplement, okay? I mean, most people have low vitamin D levels, if anything. But again, make sure you talk to your medical provider. So remember, sun exposure is the way that we get vitamin D, right? So if you can get out and sit out in the sun, that's the best way to get it. 20 minutes is really all you need. But again, during the winter, sorry, y'all, I'm scared my camera's gonna fall again like it did last time. Let me adjust for a second. Okay, my little stand isn't working right. Okay, there we go. All right, so as I was saying about the vitamin D, so what we choose to do during the winter is take a supplement. I usually take about 2,000 IUs. It comes in international units, about 2,000 IUs a day during the winter. And again, that just boosts your levels of vitamin D and helps to fight off, things like the flu. Now, you can also get more in your diet. So vitamin D in your diet would be things like fatty fish, like salmon. Egg yolks have a lot of vitamin D in them. And by the way, we were kind of led to believe for a long time that like you shouldn't eat the egg yolk, you should only eat the whites, but all of the vitamins, nutrients, minerals are in the yolk. I mean, no, you shouldn't eat like 5 a day, but 1, 2, even 3 is okay. And you shouldn't just eat the white, by the way. So I just want to clear that up too, because there are a lot of things that over time we realize, this really, is not the best way to go. And then we correct course. So, okay, the next thing is vitamin C. And I mean, most people know, vitamin C is great to boost the immune system. Now, you want to make sure that you're not taking too much. If you're taking a supplement, you want to make sure that you're not taking too much vitamin C because it can be a little harsh on your stomach. So no more than 2,000 milligrams a day, I would say. I would not take more than 2,000 milligrams a day. So I take about 1,000 milligrams a day in the winter months. I don't typically do it otherwise, unless I start, other times of the year feel like I'm getting sick or coming down with something, then I'll do a little extra vitamin C. Foods, you can certainly, get some extra vitamin C from the foods that you eat. Things like, we always think of oranges, right? Grapefruits, but strawberries have a lot of vitamin C. Peppers, actually, bell peppers. So even like red, yellow, green, any of those bell peppers have like twice the amount of vitamin C that oranges have. So that's a great choice, and they're really good for you. And then also broccoli is another good one that has a lot of vitamin C in it. So maybe incorporating meals with more of those foods in them, is how you want to get your added vitamin C and give it to your family. Okay, so those are kind of my biggest top ways to boost the immune system and to prevent cold or flu. But now I want to talk about what happens when you get exposed. What do you do? Because who wants to go sit in a med stop and you feel terrible? You're exposing everybody else, right? And who wants to be sick for very long at all, so water is super important. We tend to not want to drink water when we're sick. We tend to want to drink Cokes or sodas or whatever. Can you guys still give me a thumbs up if you can still see me? I think you can. Somebody just texted me and asked where I went, but I think I'm still showing. because I've got my computer pulled up. So I think we're okay. But I know it'll record, so I'm going to keep going. Okay. So water intake is super, super important, because remember that we get really, really dehydrated, especially if we have a fever, we get super dehydrated. So we've really got to increase the water consumption. But sometimes you don't really, the water doesn't taste super great. So maybe, you want something else. I would encourage you to add some essential oils to your water, because that's going to flavor the water. It's going to make it taste better. And it's also going to help detoxify you, which when you're sick, you've got these bacteria and viruses going on. You want to get rid of that. So the main one that I love, any of the citrus oils are great for this, but I love to add lemon essential oil to my water. I'll just add 1 or 2 drops to a big stainless bottle of water. You could do glass or stainless. You want to make sure you're drinking your oils out of glass or stainless, and that you're only consuming internally, making sure that they're doTERRA oils. And if you have questions about that, the class that I did last week went over all the basics. So if you have any questions about any of that, then go back and watch that class. It's in this learning group that I'm live in right now. So drinking those citrus oils, getting the water. Now the second thing that you've got to make a priority if you do feel like you're getting sick is rest, right? I mean, you have got to get the proper amount of rest, or your body is not going to heal. It's not going to be able to fight off whatever is going on, whatever you've been exposed to. So making sure you're getting plenty of rest. I like to, if I feel like I'm getting sick, or if someone gets sick, increase the probiotics to twice a day. Because remember, I want the most amount of good bacteria I can get into my body so that it can help to fight off everything that's going on. So I go to 2 of the probiotics a day. Now, the next thing is a blend that we talk a lot about, but I'm not kidding you. Like, you have to have this on hand. It will shorten the course of anything that you come down with and just get rid of it really quickly. And that is a blend called Flume, F-L-O-O-M. So I don't think I have all of them right here, but I'm going to read them out to you. It's frankincense, lemon, on guard, oregano, and melaleuca. So it's those 5 oils, and it's just the first letter of each one, Flume, F-L-O-O-M. That's how we abbreviate it. So what you can do is I just keep this mixed up all the time, because when you're sick, I mean, you don't want to have to start mixing stuff. Like if your kids are sick, you don't want to have to be mixing a roller. So I keep a 10 milliliter roller bottle just like this. This is what it looks like if you're not familiar with a roller bottle. This is actually peppermint. But when I make my Flume, I like to do about 20 drops of each of those oils. Now, if this was for a very small child, say, 1-year-old, 2, 3, I would go less. I would put probably anywhere from 5 to 10 drops of each of those oils, and then you fill the rest of your roller with your fractionated coconut oil. So you've got this on hand. You're like ready to go if your child or somebody starts to feel like they're getting sick. So what you'll do with that is you'll roll it right on the bottom of the feet or along the spine, and you'll do that like every 2 hours, every 2 to 3 hours. Typically, it's only a couple of days that you need to do that before, it's gone away. So that's what I do for my kids. Now, if I feel like I'm getting sick, me or my husband feel like we're getting sick or coming down with something, I'm like, I want it to be pretty strong. Like I want an internal, I want to use the oils internally for me personally. So what I do then is I take these veggie caps. These cost like $4 and there's 160 in here. So super affordable, and I just keep them on hand for, again, if we feel like we're getting sick and I need this blend, I'll take 3 drops of those 5 oils. So frankincense, lemon, on guard, oregano, melaleuca. And then I'll just pop my veggie cap open and I'll put the oil right in there, 3 drops of each, pop it back together. And I'll take that about every 3 hours. one every 3 hours, or at least 3 times a day, depending upon how sick I am or how sick I feel. But generally, I have found that I think the longest I've had to take them was 3 days, and then I'm good, back to normal, everything's fine. Because those oils that I mentioned in the Flume are very antibacterial and antiviral. So they really just help to get rid and knock out whatever you've been exposed to and come down with. So that is kind of like a must-have on hand for cold and flu season. Now, I do want to share one other thing with you that I do recommend to people sometimes. We have two, because sometimes I'll encounter people that will say, you know, I really don't want to have to make a capsule. So then adults can certainly use them topically, like I just showed you in the roller bottle. But I want to give you another option just to have. So On Guard, this is that On Guard blend, but this is an On Guard Plus soft gel. So this is already pre-made. You wouldn't have to do anything. This is what it looks like. Okay, so it's a pre-made soft gel, and it has some other added oils in it that are not in the On Guard blend. Like it has oregano, it has melissa, and it has a couple more, black pepper. But this one is great. I take it like when I go travel, just for the boosting of the immune system, so that, you know, I don't come down with something, hopefully. But if you do start to feel like you're getting sick, you could take one of these. I would not take more than 3 a day, so 3 times a day. And then I typically recommend as well that you take the Tri-Ease with it. So this is actually the seasonal blend that's for seasonal threats like itchy eyes, watery nose, stuffy head, which you typically have those symptoms, if you get a cold and you come down with something anyway. So this is, again, also a pre-made soft gel, and all that's in it is lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So what I'll recommend to people, if they just want really easy convenience, I'll have them take, again, these together. And you do that 2 to 3 times a day. Whoops. And that will knock out also whatever you've got going on. So that's kind of another option that I like to give to people if they're kind of intimidated by making a capsule, which, by the way, is not hard. It takes 2 seconds. It's easy. But I did want to give you that option. Okay, next up, a lot of times when we get sick and we have cold, the flu, whatever it is, we get a lot of congestion, right? We get a lot of respiratory symptoms. Maybe if you already have some lung problems, some shortness of breath. But one thing that I love to use to help break up that congestion and just kind of rid your body of it is the respiratory blend called Breathe. So this is doTERRA's respiratory blend. And what I'll do with that is I will just put a couple of drops in our diffuser in kind of the main living area. And then I also make sure that I do that on the bedside tables when we go to bed, because diffusing that Breathe really helps to break up the congestion. So if you have any cough, congestion, just think about it like you want to open up the airways and breathe a little bit easier. This is the go-to blend for you. So I will put it in the diffuser, but then also I'll put a drop or 2 in my hand with a couple of drops of my fractionated coconut oil, rub it together, and then rub it on the chest. And if it's on the kids, I'll rub it on the back of their chest. And you can see a really, really big difference with that. So that's another kind of one that you want to have on hand to use during cold and flu season. Okay, the last couple things that I want to mention to you are I incorporate oils into, but it's not just oil related. So elderberry syrup. I know a lot of people know about elderberry syrup, and you can purchase it, online, but honestly, it's so easy to make your own. And I have purchased it online before, several years ago. But I just make my own now, and it will last up to a year in the refrigerator. It lasts forever. It's something that you can actually take every day if you wanted to for the immune boosting. I tend to reserve it for us for when we feel like, we're sick or when we do come down with something. There's actually a recipe. We have a recipe on our website on anaturalshift.com. I'll post the recipe when we get off under this video, or the link to it. But basically, you get your elderberries. You can order them online. There are a few local places that sell them, but you can certainly get them online. And then basically all you do is boil those in water, and then you add some oils and some honey to it, and that's it. And then, you take typically a couple of teaspoons a day, or tablespoons, a day, especially, when you're in that sick time. So that's another one that we always do. So we do the elderberry syrup, we do the Flume, those 5 oils, we do the Breathe, the respiratory blend, getting plenty of rest, drinking the water. And then the last thing that I always make sure that we do is a detox bath. Detox baths really, really work, y'all. I mean, seriously. I've done them on my kids so many times and just seen how much better they are after they get out of the bath and I apply some oils, they're drinking their water. I mean, it really makes a big difference. So I want to tell you what I put in our detox bath. So I like to use a combination. How many tablespoons of elderberry? So you could do a tablespoon, every 3 hours. We'll typically do it 2 to 3 times a day. But yeah, you could do it that much, would be fine. I usually just do 1 at a time though, Jamie. Okay, so the detox bath, what happens is it helps to remove those toxins. Remember, we've got something going on invading our immune system, invading our body, or taxing our immune system, and we've got to get rid of the bacteria, the viruses, whatever is going on. You're welcome. So Epsom salt, I always do Epsom salt. I do about a cup to a half a cup to a cup of Epsom salt. None of this has to be exact. I never measure anything. It always works out fine, I promise. So Epsom salt. Then I do about a half a cup of baking soda. It kind of like alkalinizes the water. I do a 1/4 of a cup of hydrogen peroxide. I do a 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar, which by the time you put that in the water, you might think, oh, it's not going to smell very good. But in a bathtub full of water, you can't even smell it after you put it in there. And then I add oils to that. So, when you're sick and you're kind of achy and maybe, have had a fever that makes your joints and everything achy, I love to use Deep Blue. Deep Blue is doTERRA's soothing blend. It looks like this. And it just feels amazing. I do about 5 drops of that in the bath water, right in the bath water. You can put it in with your Epsom salts too, to mix it in with the salts first. Sometimes I don't take the time to do that though, just to be honest. I just put it in the bath water and then just swish the water around and it all works out fine. But I also like to add, so that's great for the achy joints and muscles and it's just really relaxing, but I also like to add lavender to it. Lavender is extremely soothing, relaxing, and just really helps to promote a restful night's sleep. So a lot of times we'll do the detox bath, right before bed. Sometimes I'll even do more than 1 detox bath a day because I like to apply oils to the skin right after a bath because your pores are open and you get a better absorption. So one more oil that I did want to mention that I do add to my detox bath a lot is an oil called Zendocrine. It is the detoxifying blend, actually, and it actually smells really nice with lavender and Deep Blue. It might not be one that, if you're already familiar with oils and you're already using oils that you thought about using in the bath, but it's actually one of my favorite ones to use in a bath, a detox bath, or even just a relaxing bath. Sometimes I'll put it in there. But those are kind of your go-to. So prevention, remember, using your On Guard soap and hand sanitizer, your healthy fats, your probiotics, your On Guard, your frankincense, all of that is going to help ensure a healthy immune system. And then if you do get sick, drinking plenty of water, which really we should be doing all the time anyway, using your citrus oils in the water, vitamin D supplement, vitamin C supplement. Let's see, what else did I mention? Getting proper rest, the Flume, frankincense, lemon, on guard, oregano, melaleuca, your elderberry syrup, and your Detox Bath, and also your Breathe respiratory blend. So that's just really simple. I mean, have those few things on hand. And I do want to mention, for those of you who don't already use doTERRA's oils, they are the highest quality. They are super potent, super effective. So if you're buying something over the counter and you're not seeing results, it's because you don't have a high quality product. Most all of the oils that you buy over the counter have synthetics added to them. That's why they all say not for internal use. If it were a pure product that had been thoroughly tested to ensure that there are no pesticides, chemicals, residue, then you would be able to ingest it. And those products aren't. And that's why they say not for internal use. So I would encourage you, if you're buying something like that, because the price is a little bit lower, you just have to know that you get what you pay for. And the thing that I love about these oils is melaleuca. I'm going to give you this example. This is one that's in that Flume that's very antiviral and antibacterial. It is 8 cents per drop. I know this one right off the top of my head is why I wanted to use it as an example. But they are so affordable and inexpensive, looking long term. And of course, they work with your body and help your body to heal itself. We're not, putting a Band-Aid on the problem or introducing more synthetics and toxins into our body. We're actually helping our body heal itself and get healthier, right? So the way that it works, if you don't already have a doTERRA membership, is $35 for the year, and that gets you 25% off of all the products. Now, some people will choose to start with an enrollment kit. The enrollment kits are just a bundle of the most popular oils. Some of them have a diffuser in them. And by doing that, you don't pay the $35. But some people want to just start with 1 or 2 oils, or maybe you want to start, with, Breathe, the respiratory blend, and some lemon and some On Guard, something like that. You can pay the $35 and then still get 25% off of whatever you want to add. So that's the best way to do it. And the other really big benefit to the membership is you get to be a part of our wellness community, which is it's on Facebook, private group, full of education. We do weekly education, lots of resources in there. And it's just a great community to ask questions and get instant feedback with what has worked well for other people. And if you're buying, products that aren't good quality over the counter, you definitely don't have anybody to guide you through knowing how to use them. So this way, when you join a community, you do have a guide to help you learn how to use them. So if you would like to get some oils, would like to get set up for cold and flu season, and you're not already, working with somebody else that is helping you, then reach out to me. I would love to help you and have you join our wellness community. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about tonight, then please feel free to post in the comments and I will be happy to answer them. I hope you guys stay well this cold and flu season and have a great night. Bye.